see yourself?
I'm live.
Okay.
I can see myself. Why are you moving the camera?
Do you need height?
I don't need height. I don't need heightening. I do need to say hi to everyone. Couple of things. I had scheduled a live stream, and it wasn't going through, so I had to come over here. So we're gonna see if we can find those other live streamers to send them over here. Just you wanna do that, babe?
Didn't you say that already?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yay, it's working. Thank you. So let me just find those other people to say, come on over to my new live stream,
I'm trying to find it myself.
because this one is what we're going to do. So I just wanted to say hi to everyone. We're just starting out, so give us a minute or two to get organized. I have everything in front of me for my drink, but it's going to take me a minute just to get into to get everyone there. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Joner. Hi, guys. So this is basically our live stream to celebrate 100,000 subscribers. So we're just going to wait for some people to come over from the other side, because I basically got a live stream ready to go, but we had to come over here because the one that I had set up wasn't happening. So let's make sure that everyone's coming on over, and then we'll start making some drinks. We'll chat a little. I hope that my lighting is my lighting looks a little off.
Really, that's the picture you put up?
Well, yeah, that was the picture of me. No one likes that picture? What about the picture? I thought that was a good one. But yeah, so we're going to make some drinks. We're going to chat a little. I have some things that I wanted to talk about. And I just hope that everyone's here. I wanted to know, just to make sure, if anyone is on the other live stream, sees anyone on the other live stream, bring them over here, because for some reason I couldn't get that to start. We were having technical difficulties. I'm just not technically savvy, you know? So like I said, we're doing this live stream because we want to celebrate 100,000 people, and 100,000 subs is something that I think that was always a goal in our mind, always kind of like something that we wanted to hit. And it happened in a relatively short amount of time. For most YouTubers, don't get that many people that quick. And I'm really happy that we got there. I'm really humbled by the fact that people like what we do. All I really wanted to do was start out teaching and telling people how to cook. It's just like a natural extension of what I do at school. And, we had started the channel right before lockdown happened in the United States. In February, we started with our first 3 videos. My niece and her boyfriend had basically helped set us up the first 3 videos. And they were pretty good. And then quarantine hit, and we basically needed to start doing it on our own. So my daughter was doing a lot of the editing. My wife and daughter were doing the filming. At the same time, we were also filming stuff for Epicurious from our house. So it was something that was unexpected, but something that I think that we really both wanted to do. And basically, my partner in crime is my wife. She's on the other side of everything. She doesn't want to be on camera, but basically, she's the one that does everything for us and does all the editing. My daughter started out, but it got to be a little too much for her, so my wife took it over, and now it's just the 2 of us that do it. Like I said, it's a relatively short amount of time, and we're really happy, and we're really glad that everyone can join us. And I wanted to start out by making a drink, okay? The first drink I'm going to make is for my wife, because she's the boss. And I'm going to just put you down here so you can see. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, well, this camera setup doesn't work all that great. But what I'm going to do is this, okay? I'm going to get my orange, right? I have a goblet, and I'm going to get an orange. I'm making her a gin and tonic. And this is how I do my gin and tonics. And there's a video on this, and we were watching it this weekend. And my wife's like, these videos stink because our first videos, if you go back and look at them, it's not that they stunk. It was more of that we just didn't have the technical knowledge. We didn't have the skills, and
We're still working on it.
yeah, we're still working on it. So I've made this gin and tonic before. Goblet glass. I take the orange rind, and I express it. 2 pieces of orange rind. My gin and tonic does not have citrus in it. It just has rind. Okay. I need the gin, babe.
Oh.
And I need some tonic water. So I got tonic. So I get the rind expressed. It's in the glass. I get some ice. If you don't have ice on your fridge, you got to get it. And originally, I didn't want ice on my fridge, but it really does it. So here's the other thing. I use Old Man Gin. This is Beefeater. I'm going to do a nice hefty 2.5, 3 ounce pour because it's Friday night. And then I'm going to top off with some Schweppes. I use Schweppes. It's not the best brand, but it is a decent brand, right? And if anyone's ever been to Spain, you get these in the goblet like this. So you get a gin and tonic in a goblet like that. Okay, so here's for my wife.
Thank you.
Take it off camera.
Got it.
Okay, and then the drink that I'm going to make for myself is a Mai Tai, right? Who taught me how to cook? My sister did not teach me how to cook. But so just a little background about me and my career as a chef is I've always wanted to cook. Like that's something that has always been something I want to do, right? And being a chef was the kind of the culmination of everything I ever wanted to do. But you know, and I followed that. I went to CIA. I went and graduated CIA. I worked in the restaurants for a very long time. But as my kids got older, my son is 21, my daughter is 19. I wanted to kind of get out of restaurants and spend some time, a little more time with them. So basically, that's when I went to teaching, and I found like kind of my second calling when it comes to teaching. And this channel is an extension of that in the sense that I can teach so many more people. You know, classes at school have 12 to 16 people, but here I can teach as many people as possible. Thanks, Max. It's an official Chef Frank Proto t-shirt. I hope you're wearing yours, Max, right now. I hope everyone's wearing the t-shirts if they have one. So what I'm going to make is Karen, you know what we can do?
Right.
Let's try and pull this out a little more so we can get a little more view of what we're doing here, you know?
Okay.
So we're just going to try and get a better camera angle, guys, just so you can see what I'm doing because the lighting is really weird in here. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's the webcam on my computer stinks, you know?
I think so too.
But we're going to just try and set something up, but I'll chat until we get to that point, you know? Thank you guys for all the support. I think people love what we do because we try and keep it as real as possible. I'm not like, you know, I met someone the other day. I was teaching at school and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm meeting you. You're such a celebrity. And I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a guy that loves to cook and teach people how to cook. And I think when people meet me, they're a little shocked that I'm not like, you know, Mr. Hey, you know, I just want green M&Ms and stuff like that. I'm just kind of me, you know, like, and what you see is kind of what you get. And I think that people appreciate that. And I think that, you know, we try and keep it very authentic here, you know? So my wife's just getting more books to set up. By the way, people are wearing their Chef Frank shirts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, hold that.
Okay, I'm going to hold the computer and she's going to try and get us a little further back so we can see a little more. That's better. Oh, much better. So much better. Okay. Good. Now you can see my hands, but my head is chopped off just slightly. That's perfect.
I'll do one more book.
Perfect. We're going to get one more book and we're going to set it up. I just can't read what people are saying.
Okay, I'll
So,
get you the thing closer.
Um,
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, babe. Thank you. So, and I can lean forward and see what people are saying. And for all the people that have supported me, I really appreciate it. And that's just, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I think that when you think about the amount of people that have seen videos that I'm in, it's pretty amazing. Like on some of the videos I do with Epicurious, they're pretty, like, they have millions of views, and it's kind of funny to think that many people have seen this mug. So what I'm going to do, I got to move across here. I'm going to make a Mai Tai. Okay, so that's the drink I wanted to make today. And why did I pick a Mai Tai? Because I think the people's impressions of what this drink is are really wacky, right? At the end of the day, a Mai Tai, let me just get another cup, right? Everyone thinks of a Mai Tai as this weird tropical drink. And when I started doing research on it, it's really not a super tropical drink. It's got some tropical stuff to it. It was made at Trader Vic's originally. And, oh, yeah, that's better. Now I can see what people are saying. Good. People are drinking, I think, what did Max say? Water right now and gin and tonic in the future. Gin and tonic's a good choice.
Max from
That's Max Miller from Tasting History. So a Mai Tai came up because I wanted something a little more fancy than a gin and tonic. And I also wanted to do something that was, like, I think a little misunderstood as far as a drink, right? And I think a Mai Tai is a little misunderstood. So the way that this goes is I have my mixing glass. That's my drink glass. I'm going to do, this is an ounce. If you don't measure your drinks, this little thing here is called a jigger. And it's really great for measuring out. This top one is 1 ounce, and the bottom one is 2 ounces. So I need 3/4 of an ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice. You see I just cut it and squeezed it. Don't use any stuff that's not fresh squeezed. It's gross if it's not fresh squeezed. Okay? I'm going to use, you know what I need? I need the orange curacao too. Okay. I'm going to do 1/4 of an ounce of some rich simple syrup. Rich simple syrup is I use some turbinado or demerara sugar, some not brown sugar, but turbinado and demerara sugar is just sugar that hasn't been washed of all of the molasses, and it gives a really nice flavor. Okay, and then 1/4 of an ounce of almond syrup. Almond syrup, right? You would think for a tropical drink it's a little weird to have almond syrup. I thought it too, but I love the flavor of almonds. Okay. And then a hefty 2 ounces of rum. And I'm using a gold rum. Has a little more flavor to it than a white rum. Okay, and then it's going to get a little orange curacao as well. That's the one. That's kind of, yeah. Okay. Someone's asking me how my day was. My day was great. I don't have a better, I have the nice jug brand of curacao. I guess if you have a better brand, you can use a better brand. And then 1/4 ounce of orange curacao, okay? And that's pretty much it. What we're going to do now is we're going to give it a really good shake, ice it, and give it a good shake. Yeah, much better. Did I construct my own planet? No. Unfortunately, some of those myths aren't true.
Just a few of them.
Just a few. I do grow a lot of my own stuff. We're going to put our glass on it, hold it really tight, give it a really hard shake so this gets frosty. Once that gets frosty, give it a tap. Oh, wow, that smells delicious. And pour it out. Traditionally, they'll take a little piece of lime and they'll put the shelled lime on top, right? So it looks like a little island. You put a little piece of mint. I don't have any mint. Whatever.
Oh, we have some outside.
No, I don't like mint, you know. And then we drink. So cheers, babe. Come on over. Okay. Cheers to you guys. Thank you for supporting us. That's my wife over there. You can't see her, but we really appreciate the support. And this one's for you guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that is a good drink.
Good.
Holy cow. A little sweet, but good. Hi from London, catching my live. Thank you guys. Thanks for everyone for finding us on the live too. We had originally put in to do the live, and I just didn't have the right software, so I'm kind of, I'm not a technic guy,
Hola from Spain.
Hi from Spain.
Australia.
Sláinte to everyone. Earlier I was saying, I have one of my guys on there, Josh. Josh B is one of my students. And Max and Jose say that they always have technical issues, which is kind of funny because they're the experts now. I have my friends and family and some of my students actually joining me on this, and it's really great to see them too. When we go to family parties, I'm like, I get my bodyguards and say, hey, back off, people. Nah, I'm fairly humble.
What?
Someone's saying hi from Glasgow. Hi, Glasgow.
What are you going to? Oh, we need to do Arabic.
Arabic food. We'll do some Arabic food, I think.
You don't know too much.
I don't know a ton of Arabic food. What I'm planning on doing is eventually getting some people on with me that can teach me the foods that I don't know. Because there's a lot of food out there, that I've experienced and tasted. I've had Persian food before, but I've never cooked it. So honestly, I'm going to try and get people on the channel with me that can show me how to do new stuff. We have some of that planned in the future. I want to do some Filipino stuff. I definitely want to do a lot of other stuff, But, it's great to see so many people from around the world. Someone asked about Thai food. If you check out the channel, we did Pad Thai, and I think it's a pretty good version. I got to step off for a sec. It's getting sticky, and I don't like sticky. But, like I said, we started this channel, and it's been a family affair from the beginning, and it's kind of been a really interesting experience because we had to learn everything, and I'm sure that people out there that have done this, especially Max, basically had to learn from square one. And all the editing and stuff like that. My wife does most of the editing, but I am there to help with the finished product, to help get out some of the ums and the ahs, But it's funny if you see the progression of our first few videos to today, you do see a major difference. And my wife always pushes herself to do better and to keep on pushing and trying to do a little bit better.
We're from Brazil. Oh
my God, that is a good drink. If you've never had a Mai Tai, you got to make one.
Let me try it.
It's a little sweet. We're high from Serbia.
A white Russian.
White Russian. Didn't we do White Russian? Or did we do a TikTok? So we also are working on our Instagram following and our TikTok. But for the most part, TikTok's a little more difficult because with TikTok, you want to pretty much post every day. And, I still have a day job. So it's kind of been, it's hard to do that all the time. And pretty much the day we have to film is Saturday. So we film on Saturday and try and release on Thursday. And that's a pretty tight schedule. My wife right now is, she's staying at home. So she has a lot of time, but it eats up a lot of your time, Yeah. Hi from Spain. Hi, Spain. My friend Gina, our good friends are upstate New York at Westkill Brewery. They're watching us from the brewery, and that's pretty fitting.
Really?
That's pretty fitting because that's what we do on Sunday. Saturday we film. Sunday we go to breweries with our friends that love those. From Poland, I love it. Support from Poland. Thank you so much. But maybe we'll do a pinch of Frank White Russian. I think that the White Russian is a cocktail that I actually drink quite often. Yeah. It's kind of the end of the night cocktail for me. That's the last cocktail I have before I go to bed.
Or
so
the other one. What's the other one?
Huh?
You guys have the.
Oh, so we have White Russians, and then there is the other drink that we do is the Italian Valium, which is gin and amaretto, which is probably one of the best end of the night cocktails ever. We have people from Dubai, Chicago.
Oceanside, New York.
Oceanside, New York. Very, very fancy. West Virginia. Hi, Morgantown, West Virginia. People from Germany and Poland. Hi, guys.
What's your favorite restaurant in New York?
My favorite restaurant in New York. Oh my gosh, that's a hard one. You know what it is? What's funny is that since we moved out of the city, because we lived in Astoria, Queens for about 16 years, we really don't go out in the city much. You know, we're about an hour out of the city in Connecticut, and I find that I tend to cook more than go out. And because for the most part, when we go out here where I live, it's kind of like, you know, someone from Groton, Connecticut on the Navy base. Are you on a sub or a ship?
Oh, my cousin says.
Yeah, my wife's cousin's husband is a sub commander, and he's kind of gone out of. He's gone out of Groton.
Retired now.
He's retired. Yeah.
I think I'm not 100%.
But as far as where we go eat out, we tend to go for smaller, like off the beaten path places, nothing polished. My whole career has pretty much been in like bistros and stuff like that. So I tend to gravitate towards burping. I tend to gravitate towards restaurants that are like grandma style or simple. Like anytime we've been to a fancy restaurant together, I always get a little nervous. Like, am I using the right fork, or is this too fancy? How much is this going to cost? So for the most part, when we go out, like we've been going to the same Vietnamese place in Lower Manhattan in Chinatown for at least 20 years now, 25 years, the same Vietnamese place we've been going to, and it's really good. And the grandma and the grandfather that run the place are still there. And that to me is what good food is. It doesn't have to be expensive or fancy.
Do you think culinary education is worth the money?
Oh, that's a good question. Do I think culinary education is worth the money?
Depends on how much money.
Yeah, it depends on how much you spend. When I went to culinary school, it was a lot cheap. Like I basically went for 2 years of culinary school, and it's less than what the people that go to my school now pay. I think education is never wasted. But I think that you're going into an industry, and I think the industry is starting to change, which is nice because people aren't putting up the BS anymore. I don't think school hurts at all. I think it's a big chunk of money to spend for a career that maybe doesn't pay a lot of money, but I think that's starting to change, which is a good thing, you know?
You can always work your way up. If you can hustle, you hustle.
Someone was saying that's how it feels in the suburbs of Chicago. There's nothing out there, you know. Yeah, it's kind of the suburbs, you know, and it's not so bad, you know. Scott was asking what inspired me to become a chef. I don't know what inspired me. I've always wanted to be a chef. I don't know. We grew up in a house, an Italian-American house, and basically food was really important to us. We spent a lot of time cooking and eating around the table, and it was always this communal thing. And basically, maybe my family inspired me, but I've always wanted to be a chef. That was something that I always wanted to do. It's just, and then I did it, and you know, you pay the price, your body hurts, and you go deaf. And I appreciate all the years I had, but I just I love teaching so much more. It's the next step in what you do. Like you can't cook for 25 years or 24 years and then not pass that information on, you know?
I'm from Northern Ireland.
Someone said Northern Ireland. We're in Northern Ireland, guys. Someone said for Buffalo, they like the fact that I use Yingling in my Bloody Mary mix.
We do like Yingling.
Yeah, we do like Yingling.
It's like our favorite every day.
I don't know about Yingling's politics, but their beer is good. Vietnamese food would be something that I would love to discover. We do like Vietnamese food, but that's something that I feel like, again, I need someone to teach me. You know, I think that I can do it, and it's not going to be super authentic. It's always going to be kind of my version, and people love to comment like, that's not right, you did it wrong, and stuff like that. And I just, for the most part, leave those comments alone. Because, you know, it's my version. It's the way that I do things, you know, what I know, what I have access to, the things that I've done. So for the most part, that's what you're getting when you get, you're not getting authentic when you get from me. You're getting what Frank knows and what I've done over the years, you know. So someone said, just stop by to say hi. Thank you for loving our videos. I appreciate it. Someone's planning on going to culinary school. Look, if you want to go to my friend, if you want to go to culinary school, go. You should go because education doesn't hurt you. you know? My friend Gina just said, celebrate, don't appropriate. And I think she's right, you know? And, you know, you draw that line of appropriation when you say this is authentic. And I really never claim anything's authentic that I do. It's authentic to me. It's what I like to do. It's what I cook. And that's what I'm trying to give you from my experience. That's what I try and give my students every day when I teach, is this is the best way from my experience that I know.
The Laura's, right?
Yeah. Oh, the Laura's are here. Hi, Laura's. Someone asked, if you're making a baked cheesecake, can you add a shot of espresso? Do I add hot or cold? I think I would add the espresso cold. And if you can find coffee extract, that might be a little bit better because I don't know how much the espresso is going to come through. So maybe try to find a coffee extract, right? Someone asked, do I raise my own cattle? I don't know. I can show you the backyard. There's no cattle back there. Maybe one day I'll have a farm, you know? Here's a good question. What's my favorite thing to cook at home? And people will ask me, what is your specialty? What's your favorite thing to do? And that changes, right? What's my specialty? You know, I've done a lot of Mediterranean food, and I love Mediterranean food. But for the most part, my specialty, you know, I don't have a specialty. It's what I'm interested in. It's what I'm excited about at the time. And lately, I've been really loving kind of Korean home cooking. We do like a Korean type of lettuce wrap, and it's kind of a mishmash of different cultures, but I think that it's absolutely delicious. I just got a pizza oven for my birthday. I just turned 50. I know I don't look 50, right? I'm very young and spry looking, but I just got a small little pizza oven because eventually I'm going to build a big one, but my wife wanted me to get one just to kind of try out. She got me one for my birthday, so I'm going to have a few videos with that on it too, you know? Let's see. Let's just see. Have a few questions.
Someone said something. Only recently I realized you were the force behind Barcelona Maintenance.
What is? Yeah, I was definitely. What is your favorite thing that I cook? Someone asked my wife a question.
Oh, I like a lot of stuff.
My favorite tequila cocktail. Recently, I just did a video on palomas. And if you don't have palomas in the summer, you're crazy. Those things are good. Dangerous, but good. Try the palomas out. I know that sounds like I'm just plugging the video, but it's not. Like, for the most part, the videos that I do are things that I'm really excited about. So as far as our video selection, and I didn't really get into that earlier, but when we do our video selections, what we're going to do, we think of a couple of things. We think of, is it informative? Does it teach something to someone? And is it something that I'm excited about? So you're not always going to get the technique, right? But you will get something that I'm excited about. So just understand, like, our videos are chosen that way. It's got to be fun for us, and we got to really, we have to be excited about it, you know? Again, best tequila cocktail right now, Palomas, but that could change. We just got some nice tequila. Our friends, the Lauras, were just in Mexico visiting family for a few weeks, and they brought me a nice bottle. Anytime they bring me tequila from Mexico, it is good. My friends, the Ludlows bought me a bottle of mezcal. So we're waiting for them to get home from their extended vacation so that we could drink that together.
Someone from Australia.
Yeah, hi, Australia. Is there any problem with someone using prepared ingredients like garlic in jars and stuff like that? Here's the thing that I feel about stuff like that, right? There are certain things, and I was actually just had this conversation with my students today in one of my classes. We were doing like beans. It was bean day, right? And I feel like there are certain things in jars and cans that you can use that are really good. Like canned beans, canned roasted peppers, there's some really good things. But when it comes to like garlic and onions, and whenever I see pre-chopped or pre-frozen or jarred garlic, and like I just feel like that has a certain flavor to it or scent to it that doesn't work for me. I really think you should do fresh ingredients wherever you can. But that doesn't say that you can't. If you don't have access to them, you should try using different things. But for the most part, I don't mind using things out of cans and jars. I think that some convenience foods are really good, but garlic is just definitely not one of them. Are there any things that you think aren't worth making from scratch? That's a really good question. I'd have to think about that. People like my Epicurious videos, and the funny thing about Epicurious is I enjoy doing the Epicurious videos. I enjoy working with them. The team over there is amazing. But as far as like the way things are edited and stuff like that, I don't have any real control over that. And I think they always do a good job and always try and paint everyone in a good light, and I love it. So I hope to keep working with them as well. Why am I so wholesome, Karen? I'm asking, why am I my wife? Someone said I'm so wholesome. If you only knew. I do want to make mac and cheese. Mac and cheese from the box, guys. Come on, that's dust. It's just like your dusty pepper, you know. But here's the thing: we do take suggestions. You know, we always try and listen to what people are saying. We read all the comments and we go through and we try and take suggestions about what you guys want to see. You know, so that's always on our mind, and we always love to kind of keep you guys in the loop and do things that you want to do. Right.
So I want to know, you're gonna do collabs with people, maybe like with Emily or the
we have some stuff in the works. My biggest collab is with so far I've only done one real big collab. I've done a few. I've had Chef Tracy and Chef Penny on. I had my nephew Aiden, I had my son on. I did a really big collab in the beginning of this with Max Miller from Tasting History, and he continues to be wonderful and supportive of the channel. And if you haven't seen him, you got to check him out. He's super entertaining and a wonderful guy. So we, you know, that was the first kind of like other creator collabs. He reached out to me, and we did lasagna, and that video's up on our channels, and it's really I'm glad I did it, because Max is just an amazing dude. Yeah. I mean, again, I feel like when you watch him, what you see is what you get. You know, there's no kind of like BS behind it, and I think that's why he reads so well on YouTube. What?
McDonald's or Burger King?
My friend Mark is being silly. McDonald's or Burger King? It all depends on how many drinks we've had, and usually St. Patrick's night is when we go to McDonald's together. Someone asked mac and cheese, baked or stovetop? I gotta say, when I make mac and cheese, I do bake it sometimes, but I find it dries out. I do like it creamy off of the stovetop, much better. Someone asked, where do I shop for sustainable local ingredients? There's a few butchers in our town. We have a lot of farms up the block. We live maybe 2 miles from a farm. So anytime we want to get anything local or sustainable, we go there.
We have lots of farmers markets.
Yeah, we have lots of farmers markets. Definitely would love to do some collabs with people. So anyone out there that wants to do some collaborations, we're open to it. You can just direct message me on Instagram. All my information is in the description of all my videos, so you can always get a hold of me. You know.
Australia wants to know about your knife.
Who wants to know?
From Australia.
My knife. The knife that I use on my videos is, and it's funny because. If you ask me the brand, I could not tell you, because I got this knife years ago when I was a cook. It's a Japanese high carbon knife. It is sharpened for a right hand person, and I don't know the name, guys. So I don't know. Maybe you can get a screen grab on that. That is my knife. It's lovely. I've had it for years. It's lasted me. I mean, I've probably had it for about 15, 20 years at least. You know. Someone asked if I ever do vegan recipes, and if you look in our videos, there are plenty of vegan foods in there. I definitely don't. I don't like highlight the fact that they're vegan, but there are some vegan dishes. We did some fried peppers and stuff like that. But you know, we're always going to have vegan foods, but I can't say that I'm going to promote it as vegan. Pasta fazool. What else did we do? Escarole and beans. Like, we'll always do vegan foods because, again, like,
we like them too.
Yeah, we like them too. And for the most part, like Italian peasant cooking, which I grew up with, has a lot of like vegan kind of background because meat was expensive, you know. Do I get baked to bake? It's now legal in my state. That's all I got to say. It's not a galluto. That's not the name of the knife. I forget. It starts with an M. So the knife name starts with an M. I know that, you know. Let's see. Do I ever? Am I looking to adopt a 22-year-old son? That's good. I already have a 21 and a 19-year-old.
Finish college?
Yeah, if you finish college and have a job, maybe, you know. Yeah, that's funny. Anyone have any questions? Shoot us any questions. Someone asked a question the other day. Do you have my phone, babe?
Yeah.
And it was a really good question, and I wanted to shout it out. One of my Patreon sponsors asked a question that I wanted to. Do you
need your glasses?
I might need my reading glasses. That's what happens when you get old. You need your reading glasses. Sean had put out. What is as a professional chef, what is a mistake that home cooks make that you would want them to correct in order to improve their cooking? And this is from Sean Cochran. He's one of my Patreon supporters. I think that there's a couple of things that home cooks do that they don't, that they need to improve, right? You should be tasting your food as you cook, right? And that doesn't mean eating. Get a spoon and taste it as you go. Just because a lot of people will cook something and then they serve it and they don't know how it tastes. So that's the first mistake people make. You should taste your food as you cook it. You should season your food. People look at my videos. I can't even tell you how many comments I get that people are like, you use way too much salt. You're going to have Alzheimer's. You're killing yourself with all that salt. But here's the thing, couple of things, right? I don't have a problem with salt. I don't have high blood pressure. Not only that, my food is seasoned well. It's not salty. Is my food salty?
No.
Very occasionally I do make my food salty and I make a mistake. But for the most part, my food's not salty. It's seasoned well. And that's what people don't do when they're home cooks. They're afraid to season their food.
My
Salt.
dad doesn't complain about your salt.
Yeah. My father-in-law, who is my biggest critic, 80-something years old, he's 85, does not criticize my seasoning. So, and he'd be the one to say it. Oh, someone said they're in Brazil and they're getting ready for the weekend of madness. Yeah, that's one thing I don't miss. I don't miss that, being in the restaurant and getting your butt handed to you. I really enjoy being in the classroom, you know. What's my favorite protein? That's a good question. Funny thing is I'm not a steak guy. You know, you look at me and you're like, that guy likes steak.
I like it.
I like it. I don't love it. My daughter loves beef, like steak. I am more of a chicken, pork, and lamb guy. I don't really, steak kind of doesn't agree with me. And it's funny because my son is like that too. It doesn't really agree with him. So I tend to stay away from steak, you know. What is one dish or technique every home cook should learn or master? Controlling heat, right? A lot of people are afraid of the stove, and you need to learn how to control your heat. What I tell my students is there's a few things that we do in restaurants. We control heat, we season well, and we taste our food. So controlling heat is one of those things that most people kind of don't get. You know, like you don't just set things and forget it. You always have to be like, you know, going back and forth and like making sure the heat is right. So you gotta, things aren't like static. You have to make sure that you are always watching what you're doing, you know. There's very rarely that you can just set it and forget it and just walk away, you know.
What's the best tip for someone who wants to get into the restaurant industry?
If you want to get into the restaurant industry, best tip for a kid trying to get into the restaurant industry, just get a job. Get a job, even if it's just washing dishes. If you want to get in the restaurant industry, you should start at the bottom and work your way up. You should know what the dishwashers do. You should know, have a good get in there, find out, and then focus on what you want to do. But get a job. Just get a job. See if you like it. And then you go to school, or you can do go to culinary school. What do you do when you want to get someone to broaden their horizons, right? Because they said they had a picky eater. Here's what I think. I think that there's a couple of things as a parent you can do. It's like we never told our kids we don't like anything, right? So if we didn't like it, we just didn't eat it. The other thing is that I always told them, taste it. If you don't like it, spit it out, right? If you don't like it, spit it out. You don't have to eat it. He just wants you to taste it. Just try it, you know? And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think kids would be much more surprised than
sometimes leaving it on the plate and not saying anything.
Yeah. Or don't even say anything. Don't say you have to eat it. Anytime you tell someone they have to do anything, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it, you know?
And just keep putting it on their plate.
Yeah.
Like not, for a long time, and eventually they'll do it.
My wife's the master strategist when it comes to this. I just need a little more ice. Give me a second. If handling raw meat with the utensil like a fork. Here's the thing. People get really worked up about raw meat, right? If you all I would do is make sure that every time you deal with raw meat, you just kind of wash off afterwards and you'll be fine. This just needs a little more ice. Okay. One time I'm making spaghetti. It was small batch. No. Why would you can't cook spaghetti for an hour, guys. Okay. Yukon Gold. Someone's asking about Yukon Gold. I think they're spamming us, but whatever. Yukon Golds are great potatoes. You should make a potato gratin with them. Delicious, right? My opinion on canned whipped cream, I love it. Whenever it's in the fridge, I go like this. And I eat it like that because I'm a savage. What are the top 5 basic kitchen skills or 5 meals everybody should know? Everyone should know how to cook pasta. Everyone should know how to deep fry or pan fry, I think. How to saute, how to grill. And I think that, being comfortable with those basic techniques and skills will make you a really good cook.
And do it. Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be afraid to do it. Like I always tell everyone, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is you throw it out and you get a pizza that night. And everyone's always afraid of I'm not going to try because I'm going to mess it up. But you're going to mess it up. Like who has ever done anything that is perfect the first time? And I say this to my students constantly. Is this the first time you made that? Yeah. Okay, so then why are you beating yourself up about it, right? Don't beat yourself up about it, You should, if you're not sure, give it a try and then improve on it next time. Someone asked what food I don't like. That's a really good question. I don't like liver. Liver and kidneys, especially like calves liver, it's just gross. I can't. Every time it's served, I try it, but I just can't do it. Kidneys, I've had beef kidneys, I can't do it. That being said, I do like it's like chicken liver mousse and foie gras, but just not beef liver. It's kind of gross, I don't eat that.
What's your character? Character of your spoon, your Star Wars spoon.
The character on my Star Wars spoon is R2D2. So if anyone has any other spoons, I would send them to me. I want to get a collection of Star Wars spoons. But right now I have R2D2. Someone asked, this is a really good question. Is it bad to follow recipes? No, it's not bad to follow recipes. And I say this all the time, is that a recipe is a guideline, right? If you don't know what you're doing, you need that guideline. But once you get to know what you're doing, you need that guideline less and less, right? So that's, for the most part, use your recipe as a guideline. That's it. Use a guideline. Make sure that you follow it, and then you can riff off of that. That's the way to go, I feel. What's one unpopular food opinion you agree with? What's an unpopular food opinion? Give me an unpopular food opinion. Yes, someone said that the knife is a Masahiro. I think a Masahiro might be the right knife. Thank you for the congratulations on the 100K. If you don't like spicy food, just don't eat it. There's no substitute. Just don't eat it. Yeah. My favorite fat to cook with. That's a good one. I really love chicken fat. Anytime I make chicken, I save the fat. My wife's always in the fridge, what is this? Can I throw this out? It's either chicken fat or beef fat or lamb fat. It's whatever fat that I'm cooking with that I save. And I really do like cooking with chicken fat, Simple 5-minute dish. I don't know if there is a simple 5-minute dish. Schmaltz. Yeah, it's definitely schmaltz. My thoughts on MSG. I love the fact that people ask me this because it's not here right now, but I do like MSG. I think MSG is one of those things that people get all upset about. And if you ever watched David Chang has Ugly Delicious. And it's a great show, and he talks about the fallacy of MSG, people getting sick from it. because for the most part, every food that you eat that's prepared, not by you or in a bag or in a package, has MSG. Any processed food will have MSG in it. It just has, I think there's like 60 or 70 different names for MSG. So I don't dislike MSG. I use it in my food occasionally, right? Uncle Roger would love me. Someone was just asking me the other day to do egg fried rice or garlic fried rice, and I think Uncle Roger would definitely tear me apart. So someone made my carnitas video with chicken. That works. Great. Sean Cochran. Hey, thanks for the question, Sean. My favorite condiment. Again, that kind of changes. I do like ketchup, and I know that I'll get some haters for that, but I definitely like ketchup. But lately we've been using this. I don't know where it is. And it's Calabrian chilies. Calabrian chilies in oil. And then my daughter just got this sesame seed grinder that you pop some sesame seeds on stuff. It is really good, you know, really good. Okay, verse. I am not a competitive sort of person, right? So when people ask me, why don't you go battle against Gordon Ramsay? Or I don't want to battle against them. I'd much rather collaborate, to be honest with you. If you are getting everyday cookware, get stainless steel. Buy good pots and pans. All the pots and pans that I use for the most part are fancy ones or more expensive. But I expect that when I finally die, that my kids and my grandkids will be able to use them. So I've spent the money, but they're generational sets like All Clad, Le Creuset, Staub. All those pots and pans, if you treat them right, your grandkids will be able to use them. So you need to. I would spend the money on that stuff if you have it, right?
So what's your opinion about Taco Bell?
What's my opinion about Taco Bell?
You haven't had it in years.
I haven't had it in years, and I do crave a Mexi Melt, which they don't make anymore. But I just their food is. I'm not really even sure it's food anymore. So someone asked a question: how big of a difference does it make going to the butcher or going to the grocery store? Well, the main difference is that most local butchers will use local animals, right? That are raised on smaller farms. So you're getting a better quality of meat. Is it worth the price? I don't know. That's for you to decide. That's up to you. We've gotten meat from the supermarket. We've gotten meat from the local butcher, and they're both good. The butcher is obviously better, but is it worth the price for you is the question, you know? Yeah. Favorite Epicurious level 2 chef. I can't do that. They're all so good. I love all those people. My view on MSG, thumbs up. What's the difference between a chef and a home cook? Usually a chef has some training, right? The chef has worked in restaurants. They've trained, and that's the difference, right? Someone asked me if I've ever started a kitchen fire. Of course I've started a kitchen fire. And nothing that's ever had the fire department come, but you always deal with a little bit of fire when you're in the kitchen, and you put it out accordingly. My grill, the other day we were grilling some sausage and it was on fire, and my son didn't know what to do. Bless his heart. He's like, I don't know, it's on fire. So things have gone on fire before in my kitchen, yes. My favorite YouTube chef, that's a good question. I don't watch a lot of cooking stuff on YouTube. Actually, my YouTube viewing preference is people building stuff, makers. I watch a lot of Jimmy DiResta, Bob Claggett. I like to make stuff. Dave Picciuto, I listen to them a lot. Laura Kampf in Germany. I watch a lot of people building stuff because I do have a little workshop outside that I like to build stuff in. So it feeds into that myth that I make everything, but I do make a fair amount of things. But when I watch YouTube, I'm really not watching cooking videos. I'm watching maker videos, people that build stuff. So I really don't have
unless it's like grandma's making stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Pasta Grannies on YouTube. If you've never watched Pasta Grannies, they do a wonderful job. Pasta Grannies, watching grandmas make handmade pasta, something special about that. Someone asked, has there ever been a meal in professional chef that you put everything into and it came out bad? There has been plenty of food that I put out that maybe wasn't up to par and people didn't like. But nothing that's ever been soul crushing for me. Like there's always going to be a dish as a chef you love that the customers don't receive well, right? So you have to remember at the end of the day, the people that buy your food are people that are going to criticize you, right? So at the end of the day, I don't get really crushed by people not liking what I do, but it's always a little crushing when you realize it really wasn't that good, right? And you put it out there, you shot your shot, and you're like, it really wasn't that good, And I've had a few moments like that in my career, and you move on. You just try and do better next time. Someone asking me how to choose, can I do a video on cast iron? Sure, I'll do a video on cast iron. I think it's a really great idea. The chef knives that I use is like, that's my good Japanese knife. One of the other knives that I use every day is this brand, Fury, Furi. It is a single piece of metal. I got this as a gift for doing a James Beard event in Connecticut, and it's just my everyday knife. It's a Santoku shape. For some reason, I just love it, and it stays nice and sharp, and it's probably one of my favorite knives. I use it every day. My Japanese knife I use in my videos and I use occasionally, but the other one is what I use all the time. As far as paring knives go, this one's all beat up, but this is a Victorinox, and these cost about like $7 for two. This one's serrated. These little Victorinox knives are great. I love them,
Karen says hi.
Hi, Karen. Oh, Karen. Hi, Karen. Karen Ricks, one of my favorite people that I don't know. Max asked, how do I feel about Wusthof? I actually like Wusthof. This is a Wusthof. I have a few Wustofs floating around. They're great knives. I think as long as you take any knife, for the most part, if you're going to spend a couple of bucks on, you need to take care of, make sure you don't put it in a dishwasher. But I do love Wusthof. A lot of my students use Wustofs. A lot of people that I know use them. I just usually try and buy what fits in my hand. Whenever I'm selecting a knife, I'm looking for a knife that feels good when I hold it, right? Pinch it between my thumb and forefinger, and then it feels good. Sometimes if the handle's too big and bulky, I don't like it. So that's how I pick my knives, how it feels in my hand. I'm not really picking by brand for the most part, Let's see. Ooh, waffles. That's a great idea. Why haven't we made waffles?
Come over to waffles.
Huh?
Eden.
Yeah, we could do that with my nephew, right? Yeah. Soup. That's a good question. Anyone you ever going to do a soup video? I am going to do a soup video. I think that I'm going to wait for the fall and winter to do soup, but I really love making soups. I think I'm really good at it, and I'm going to try and do a basic breakdown of how to make a good soup every time without having a recipe. So I'm going to do that eventually, right? Is there any recipe you wish you could redo on Epicurious? That's a great question. What recipe? I don't know. Maybe my chicken soup recipe on I did a chicken soup on Epicurious that I was like, it's all right. It's not the best. Maybe chicken soup, Would ever consider doing a video of the whole Thanksgiving feast? Maybe. Yes, maybe. Italian wedding soup. That's a good one. Someone's asking about how I grill, charcoal or propane. I like both. I think charcoal gives a lot of good flavor, but for convenience, propane seems to be the way that I like to go, Now that I have my pizza oven, is there a tool or piece of equipment you don't have that you wish you did? It's not a culinary piece of equipment. It's a welder. I really want to weld. I want to learn how to weld. And so kitchen equipment, I'm all set on. I have everything that I possibly need. I'm not really a gadget guy. I like having quality stuff. Like I don't have a circulator and stuff like that. But for the most part, I would much rather have like a welder. So if anyone from Linking or Miller wants to send me a welder, send me a welder. And I'll do videos about making stuff for my kitchen. Do I make my own charcoal? No, I do not. But do I sharpen my own knives? Yes, I do. I know how to sharpen knives. I have a video about that, right? Someone asked, is spatchcocking worth the effort? Absolutely. Spatchcocking a bird makes you have a more even cooking. So I do believe it's worth it. Getting thirsty. I've never used a wood pellet grill. Someone was asking if I use a wood pellet grill. I've heard really good things about them. I think the fact that wood pellet grills are programmable makes them really special, right? What's more valuable, a food processor or a blender? Oh my gosh. I think a food processor. You need to have that before you have a blender.
Yeah.
I think that a food processor does it every single time.
Unless it depends on how many frozen drinks you make.
Yeah, it depends if you make a lot of frozen drinks, right? Staub or Le Creuset, they're both great, but Staub is a little bit better because it doesn't really wear. I need some chips. I'm getting hungry. So is it worth it getting a pellet grill? I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know because I don't have one, you know?
How long does it take to film? I'm curious.
Epicurious filming usually takes 1 day. For the most part, when I film with Epicurious, it's like a 9 to 5 thing, usually. Can we do a video on how to make a cannolis? I think that's a great video. It's on my list, believe it or not. Whetstone, I have a whetstone here. And again, it's a Japanese whetstone. This is the one that I use. It's called King. Oh, that's bright. King whetstone. That's the one that I use, and it is 6,000 and 1,000 grit. That's the one I use to sharpen my knives. Someone said they need some appetizers. We could work on some appetizers.
We have a few.
We have a fair amount of appetizers on there.
Blackstone products?
Huh?
Blackstone.
Blackstone products? I don't know. I just don't have them. Again, if Blackstone wants to send me one, I'll try it out. My favorite pasta. My favorite shape of pasta is probably cavatelli. I like dense, heavy pastas. Like me, dense and heavy. But I really do like simple sauces. Nothing too complicated. A good carbonara, a good cacio e pepe, something special. Would you make the recipes from home cook versus chef? I don't even know what home cook versus chef is. You have to explain that to me.
It's the competition show on Epicurious.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was a TV show.
No, that's the home chef versus pro.
I'm so bad. Do I make the recipes? Yeah, I make them.
No, we say could you do? I think they're saying do you make them on your channel?
I don't know. I don't like to repeat what we do. I will do some repeats. I'll probably make a paella on my channel. But you know, what would be your last meal?
Wow.
Donuts,
Yeah.
pizza, donuts, and beer.
Yeah.
Why use kosher salt? That's a good question. Kosher salt has larger flakes. It is not treated with any iodine, and it is a little cleaner flavor, and it doesn't melt when you put it on things. It has a cleaner flavor than table salt. It's just a little bit better flavor than table salt.
I live in Europe, and I can't.
What is a baladilla? Bale das. Tell me what it is. Stop yelling it. Tell me what it is. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Cast iron or carbon steel, they're both great. Cast iron's a little heavier, a little thicker carbon steel. I've used plenty of carbon steel throughout my career, and I love it. Do I like the flavor of pink salt? It's okay. I think that kosher salt is great. In everyday cooking, use kosher salt. If you want to use pink salt, use it as a garnishing salt. Okay. Showing how you would make your expensive dish the home cook made if you have done it differently. That's an interesting concept. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to double up on Epicurious stuff. You know. Have you ever been to the ranch house in Hartford? No, I haven't. Is it worth trying out? That's actually a good question. In Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh.
Someone asked, what is my most important kitchen rule? No running, no sitting on counters.
No, stay out of the L.
Get out of my way. Stay out of my way. You know? So look, we're almost at an hour, guys, and keep on up with your comments. We read all the comments. We try and answer as many comments as possible. We really love that everyone has come to support us, and we love the support. We're so glad that we have a base of people that really enjoy what we do. And you know, someone had said, I was watching a TikTok the other day, And he's like, would you rather have 1 million followers or 10,000 followers? And I'm glad that I have 100,000, but for the most part, having a small community of people that really enjoy what I do is really important to me, and I appreciate it, right? Yeah, anything drivable from Lower Connecticut, you can always send me directions to go, but I'll try anything out. Hey, Guck, my friend Frank McGuckin's on there. But we're going to start wrapping it up really soon. Where have I been? No. I'm from Long Island. I'm from Elmont in Long Island. And why did I leave? I just wanted to move to the city. Actually, I moved to Queens, which is kind of an extension of Long Island, with my friend Frank McGuckin, who just commented. But it was time to get out. I love living where I live now. Long Island's a little congested for me, but I'm Strong Island to the bone, guys. Even though I don't sound like it, I am Strong Island.
It comes out. What is the first meal you're looking forward to enjoy when you return to Spain?
When I return to Spain, some of the things that I'm really looking forward to, and I want to go back to Barcelona, but I do want to go to Madrid. Some of the smaller places we went to had some really great food. Like we had some fried bacalao that was just like in the most random little place. I love finding stuff like that. So I'm looking forward. We had some fried boquerones at the market in Barcelona. I'm just looking for whatever I can get my hands on there.
What is my favorite restaurant? What was that called?
What was that?
The little place around the corner in Barcelona.
We went to a restaurant in Barcelona called Can Codina. And we went there 3 times, and it's one of the best restaurants. I follow them on Instagram. It was tiny. They had really good food. The vermouth was really good. So probably Can Codina or La Pepita.
Yeah. And the place on
La Pepita. Yeah, that was on the corner of our place too. Ever coming to Portugal? Yes, we were just talking about our next European trip, and we're probably going to go to Ireland and England, or Ireland and Scotland. But Portugal is probably right after that, if we can, you know. Why did I disappear from Epicurus for a while? Basically, they just weren't making videos. And that's why I disappeared, you know. Adding it to my list. Karen Ricks, you're awesome. Thanks for your support. But I think that's it. I think we're going to start wrapping it up, guys. Like I said, we try and read all the comments. I appreciate all the positive feedback, and I'm looking forward to another 100,000 and hopefully widening my reach and teaching more people techniques and the love for food. So, we're going to sign off, and I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope you got something out of this. We will continue to take your ideas and try and use them on the channel. If there's anyone you think I should collaborate with, put it into my Instagram, send me a message. If there's anything you think I should check out, especially locally in the Connecticut, New York area, definitely tell me, because we will always check that stuff out. I'm always looking for donut places. I love donuts, so you can always send me that. And that's it, guys. I think that's the end of our live. And I want to thank everyone so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I think that the fact that people want to follow me and want to see what I do is super humbling, because, I'm just a regular guy, and it makes me really happy to see that people enjoy what I do. And I appreciate it. And that's it. Love you all. And have a great night. Keep enjoying what we do, hopefully. I'm getting a little tipsy already. Whoa.
We'll try to get better.
And we'll try, and we're continually trying to get better so you guys can enjoy. And that's it. That's it. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for 100K. And thank you for the consistent support, because it's been a blast. We're having a great time. Have a great night. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers. Bye, guys.